Just really, really proud of our fight today. It was in question at some points in the ball game, but ultimately, we really dug our heels in and made the plays when we had to. And, that last 12, 14 minutes of the ball game, I thought just showed a lot of toughness. There was a lot of leadership out there on the floor, and just a tremendous amount of fight that is essential this time of year if you want to survive, especially in this league. Arkansas is a great team. I know they're very disappointed, but they have absolutely nothing to hang their heads about. Those kids played really hard. Tom coached a great game, and it's a fantastic win for us.
January?
Like Coach said, I'm just really proud of how we all played together and just connected and got this win. Arkansas was a tough team, so it was just good to get that win and go on to the next round.
Tara?
I'm happy to be here, another chance to play them again. But like they said, they put up a great fight, and during this time, it come down to who wanted more, and that's who's going to win these games in this tournament.
All right, we've got handheld mics on either side if you have questions for the student athletes. John?
Yes, for January and Jatera. Just how difficult is it, if any, to come back and play in back-to-back games, or do you think maybe it's almost an advantage to you in that you have a game under your belt already as opposed to the team you're playing hasn't played?
Jatera, you can go first.
I don't really see it as an advantage or disadvantage because, like I said, whoever wants to win more is going to win the game. Last year, we had to play back-to-back games. I think we played maybe Arkansas or Auburn. Then we had to come and play Kentucky, who presses the whole game. So you can't let fatigue be a factor. You have to trust your training that you did all summer and prior to getting here to take over and give you confidence.
January?
Like Jatera said, playing them back-to-back, they know what we're going to do. We know what they're going to do. So it's up to who wants it more, who hustles more, and who wants to go to the next round. So you just got to play your all.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, we'll take coaches for Coach Butler.
Yes, Amanda, do you as a coach, do you like having a game under your belt like this, or are you more concerned about the fatigue factor playing the next day?
I think that we've prepared for this all year, and we put our schedule together. We went out and played at Thanksgiving in a tournament where we played 3 nights in a row for this very reason, so that it wouldn't be a factor for us, especially mentally. Because I agree with what Jatera says. This time of year, fatigue can't be in the mix of things that has an impact on the outcome of the game, and your mental preparation is probably the toughest thing when you've got to turn it around this quickly. But we've already experienced that and handled it quite well for a young team. And and so I know that we'll be up for the challenge, and we're excited. We've got a little momentum of how we're feeling about ourselves, how we rebounded the basketball tonight. That I don't think it sways things one way or the other unless we think it does, and clearly we don't.
Dan, in the back.
Amanda, could you talk about the first game with Tennessee? It was an overtime game. It could have went either way. What kind of a bearing that might have, at least in terms of how your kids feel about their chances in a rematch?
Well, I think we take great confidence from that game. Like you said, it could have gone either way, and I think we have great explanations at this point in our seasons for why it didn't go our way. And I think, like I said, we learned some tough lessons on that matchup, but there was a lot of things that we learned and drew confidence from. We had to play over half of the ball game without Jennifer being an option on the floor, and still our young players really stepped up. Jatera's leadership was fantastic. So it gives us some familiarity that everybody has with one another at this point. But I'm going to just tail off of what Jatera said. I think what happened before doesn't really have as much of a factor, as much of an impact. Tomorrow will be about who's more ready, who has an expectation of winning, and who puts up the greatest fight.